Big Mike's Coffee Shop presents the Avery Journal-Times Coaches Corner broadcast. Here's our host, Jamie Shell.
And good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Big Mike's Coaches Show, our weekly report and weekly sit-down with Avery Vikings head coach Ethan Farmer. Coming up tonight, not tonight, but actually this week, I should say, Friday night, the Vikings are taking on the Mitchell Mountaineers, closing out the regular season at Memorial Stadium down in Ledger. Been a crazy last few weeks, Coach. I know on the field, off the field, a lot of things going on. I know last week's game we'll touch on real quickly with Polk County down there. It was really a tough, kind of a different game, a little bit similar to what happened at Hendersonville, but not really. It was kind of a different way. It was almost like a death by a thousand cuts almost with Polk last week. It wasn't like big play. They were just it seemed like they really moved the ball downfield, and the running back, I know that Sanchez was someone y'all were concerned about going in, and definitely those concerns were warranted. Can you talk just a little bit? I know you had a 300-yard effort from your quarterback as well Friday night, so some good things to take away from that game. Can you talk just a little bit, just a couple of thoughts about the game there at Polk last week?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously it's tough, that number 4 kid Sanchez, really great player, and two, I thought that be brutally honest, like always. We looked at some different things, and when we kind of go back into it, you have, I think it was the third play of the ball game. I mean, legit third play of the ball game. You got a chance to make an opportunity happen, and we didn't capitalize on that opportunity. We actually had a forced fumble. We had a penalty right then and there. It was third down, believe it or not. So we knew what was coming, but I thought that was kind of going to be the turning point of the ball game there, because we would have ended up getting the ball right there on the 15-yard line on their 15, and actually get ready to go punch it in. But we didn't play. I mean, and we had a lot of mistakes. Defensive wise, we didn't wrap up. We didn't pursue the ball. And we've seen some good things. But too, you can go back on the film and you watch it. I watched that film this whole entire weekend over and over and over and over again. And there was a lot of things that you take away from that, and there's two, there was some positives out of it. And like I said, I thought that with our quarterback play, I thought that he's a freshman, so I mean, they had to step in and fill that role. Obviously we know he's going to have some mistakes as well, too. But just being able to have him and obviously Oak as well, and obviously our receiver guys and our backs, our skill guys, everybody, and the line, too. We ain't able to get the ball out unless the line's blocking up front. And so that was some key things that we kind of picked up on, and I thought we played better in the second half than we absolutely did in the first half. First half, I just thought we were just super tense about a lot of things, and we just didn't come ready to play. But defensive wise, we got a lot of work to do on that. Offensive wise, still got some work to do. Special teams too. I mean, that was kind of a key role too. Them kicking it to the 2-yard line every single time, and we just got to do our part, do our job, and that's the key thing to it. And it's like I told the kids, in the locker room Friday, we had a long conversation in the locker room, and it wasn't anything bad. It was more so just see where we are, and just try to get some things figured out. And it's like, I know this is a young group, and it's like I told them too, hey, we still got a lot of ball left to be played, and kind of approach it this following week here. And I thought we absolutely had a great practice yesterday, even though weather's weather. I mean, you're still gonna have to play in it. It doesn't matter if it's snowing or freezing rains or anything like that. I mean, unless obviously we have like lightning or something like that. But other than that, I thought our kids kind of handled the adversity this week here for sure. 3 straight days of rain and cold weather, obviously. Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to this week here.
When you're talking, Coach, about just felt like the team was a little bit tense, or feel like they were just kind of maybe out of sync somewhat. What are some things, or maybe 1 or 2 things in practice you kind of work on to kind of get the mindset in the right place where you feel like that's a hump that you can overcome?
I mean, it's I would say probably just, hey, if we got a good drive going, I'll end up calling something. It may be, hey, you false started, and just to throw things off a little bit, just so we can adjust and say, hey, I want guys to be able to say, hey, go to the next play. That's in a positive mindset. Throwing different blitzes and different things like that at them. Hey, that's a sack right there. Like, hey, that happened. Hey, ball's right here. Back it up 7. You got telling coaches, hey, down and distance wise, hey, this is 2nd and 17. Let's go on the 45-yard line. Then we're going back and forth from left hash to right hash, offensive wise, and then hey, game like situations. I mean, and that's the way you got to practice. And being able to get guys in and out, and being able to go at a fast pace, but making sure that they're understanding, like, hey, this is your pace that I want you to be at, from a coach perspective, but also like, hey, just know for a fact, like, hey, this is the play clock. You'll see me signaling in practice the whole entire time, like, hey, whistle blowing, hey, we're moving. So just to give these guys opportunities and so they'll know, officially, like, hey, what the game looks like and what the game is. Not afraid to say it, but I'm having a hard time with that right now, especially with just teaching the game, because a lot of people really don't know. You got to teach the game, and you may get 1 or 2 kids or a couple kids that's never ever been taught the game. So that's a key moment to me, to where hey, being able to teach the game, and it makes it harder. It does, but at the same time, I would rather teach the game and know for a fact that they understand it than to sit there and say, hey, why didn't that kid may come up and say, hey, Coach, why did we do this in this ball game, like during this time frame? And then I can easily explain it, and then now it makes a lot of sense to them.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, something you mentioned, like the play clock. Polk County, I didn't see play clocks down there Friday night.
They have
any.
Yes, and that was another thing. We work on that every single day. Even with our 2-minute offense, we work on that every single day, just so our kids will definitely know, like, hey, man, like, gotta go. So we didn't see any down there. No comment about it, but
it's been that way forever. I might see if I can take up a collection or something. Maybe we can help them out with purchasing a couple or something. That's I'm surprised, I guess, with the officials keeping it on the field. I know we've had to deal with that in the past at home when you've had a malfunction, but the fact that they didn't have any, I know that, coming in. I mean, was that something y'all recognized going in, that they didn't have that? Or
just as soon as pull that bus in and we were walking around to the visitor locker room, off gate, I noticed it. And I was like, hey, they're going to have the hand signal going. And, some people, you can't criticize the officiating or anything like that. You never do that. But, it's just how they go with the flow. And then some people you'll see going fast.
Right.
It may be on the watch, but at the exact same time, you just got to, playing quarterback, you got to know, like, hey, look at it and see. But then, too, from the sideline, I'm also yelling, saying, hey, 5 seconds, 4, 3, and, going from there. But, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I did notice there, too. And then, too, getting back to practice, how I would practice, defensive-wise, too, working on hitting. I mean, and a lot of people, ask, like, a lot of different questions, and they want to know, like, you have to hit. You have to be able to work your craft every single day, to where, like some kids, you get in, like, they don't know how to wrap up. They don't know how to tackle. That's the reason why you coach, because you have to show them. And then some kids get it and some kids don't. But at the exact same time, I'm not giving up on them, and they know that. And, I'll get in a drill or 2 with them to make sure, like, obviously, I say 1 or 2 drills, but more, I'm involved in every single drill that they do to where, like, hey, coach, like, what do you mean by, like, wrapping up on the hip? Okay, hey, I'm not going to hit the kid, obviously, but
no, but you step through, sure.
Yeah. And, we got bags and tackling dummies like that to where we can utilize. And so, like, I'll get on the tackling dummy sometimes and then, like, hey, this is what I want you to do. So, like, go full speed, but know for a fact, like, when you go on full speed, don't think about anything, but you got to wrap up. He's got to go down. So, little things like that. And then just being able to go back and film, show them, hey, this is a mistake that you had. Because football is a lot more than X's and O's and running routes. It's way more than that. And, with breaking down the defensive stuff, like, you have to be able to break down every single thing. Like D-line, they have their certain things they got to get done. There's a lot to it. Obviously, I know.
Yeah.
Playing linebacker too, I know that as well. So, like, and then obviously we got a DB coach. Coach Jackson does an amazing job with that, with the DBs, being able to teach that technique, knowing the coverages, seeing what they're giving you from a receiver perspective. Knowing for a front seven, like, everybody's got their role they got to get done. So it's kind of like what we say all the time, do your job. And, there's a lot to it. So, going into this, it's you got to teach. I mean, and that's the key thing to it. And, like I said, some kids, they don't understand the game, and you have to embrace that every single time. So we give different looks every day. Sorry, I got long-winded, but we give looks, okay. we give looks different day. Defensive wise, we go our D Indy, and we set up a drill called Viking drill, just so we can spark practice even more, because that's that turning point. Kind of where you got to be able to flip the switch. Still, you went offense, now you got to go defense, and then we switch it. We'll go defense one day, then offense. So just being able to keep that juice flowing and having them understand, and then we go our team period. And team D period, it gets rowdy a little bit, and that's what you want. I mean, and not what I mean by rowdy, I don't mean like crazy. I'm saying like in a good
spirited.
Yes.
Sure.
And so, like, the kids are definitely knowing, like, hey, like, what's Coach Farmer meaning whenever we say, like, swarm? Like, that means swarm the football. Like, all 11 has to the football. Everybody's doing their job. And then we make rotations. And then, everybody's getting reps. And then that way, here come on Friday, it's the old school saying, but it's true. Monday through Thursday is your preparation. And those are the hardest days. Friday is payday. And vice versa, if you're in college, like, hey, you got to prep starting on that Sunday. And then Sunday to Friday, and then paydays on Saturday, and then vice versa when you get to the next level. It's pretty much Sunday to Sunday. So, I mean, it's Sunday is obviously your payday. Obviously, you get paid on that Monday, obviously, but because obviously I know, but still, like, you got to do your job and do your part. So, I mean, and that's what trickled down into it. And, there's actually 4 phases to the ball game: offense, defense, special teams, and win it. Now, that's the key thing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And I can sit here another half hour and talk to you about, defenses disguising coverages pre-snap and things like that, which, you have, it's as many levels as you're willing to want to put in. And plus as many as your players are able to comprehend and
absolutely
see as well.
Absolutely.
So I know there's a lot that goes in.
Yeah. And, too, with comprehending, I mean, that's the key thing, just being able to, because you tell them all the time, guys, we're not going to be on the field with you, but we're wanting you to go ahead and pick this up right now. And I don't care if it takes us all day long. I just want to make sure that, like, our kids are in perfect position to make the plays and make it happen and have fun. I mean, that's the key thing to it. I mean, why play the sport? Now, you got to have fun. I mean, and embrace every moment that you get. And so, when you talk about comprehending, like, hey, like, every time we put them in perfect position, but when we get back on film, film don't lie.
That's true. Film never lied. That's true.
So, like, to come off like, Coach, I did this, I did that. And it's like, boys, all right, here, listen. This is what happened on this play here. This is what happened on this one. You did a great job here, but hey, on that previous one, okay, hey, you see it. You know what the formation is. You hear us yelling it. Make sure we adjust. And then when they see it on film, it's like, oh, Coach, my bad. Like, and it's not, I mean, I'm not laughing as, like,
Right.
joking manner. I'm saying like, okay, hey, now you get what I'm saying now. Like, yes, sir, I get what you're saying. Like,
Kind of like all the aha moments.
yes,
Aha.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And too, that's what I love about this group. I mean, obviously we're young, and I'll tell anybody that we are young, but our kids are not giving up and our kids are not quitting. And I still believe in them. They know that 110%. And they know that I'm gonna coach their hind ends a lot because that's what I do. And I just want to make sure that everybody is set up for success, and I want to make sure that's offense, defense, special teams, whatever the case is. I know my job. I got to do it, and hey, I don't care if it takes me to 12 o'clock midnight. I'm gonna make sure that kid understands and knows like, hey, whatever he needs help on, I'm willing to help him. So, and getting lined up is another thing too. I mean, but again, I mean, we're young, and there's some guys that coming from JV to varsity, it is different. But also too, football is football. It's just JV and varsity is two different speeds. And again, I mean, we just got to keep working, and I love it. I mean, I love working with these kids, and like I said, man, I know they love me to death. So yeah.
Well, they're acclimating. That's the word. Team continues to
Absolutely.
acclimate for sure. Of course, we appreciate Big Mike's Coffee Shop. Got to give them a quick shout out. I know that they're we haven't been able to be in the shop the last several weeks due to various circumstances. But again, as we say that, we appreciate Mike and Jackie always and their support of our coaches shows, and them being willing to open their doors to us to be able to have our interviews over there from week to week. They've got their shop, and they're in that process of getting ready to get moved over to their new place. We're still continuing to hear updates about that. And of course, they have their fall menu available right now. I guess with coming up being Halloween, I guess the pumpkin spice is a hot item right now, I'm sure. You probably get it cold too, for that matter. But anyway, hot and cold, so to speak. The flannel macchiatos, the different lattes, mochas, cappuccinos, coffees, milkshakes, you name it, they've got it over there at Big Mike's. And we appreciate, again, Mike and Jackie and their support, of course, of not just Viking football, but Avery Viking athletics in general as well. Coach, looking ahead now to Friday night, you have the Mitchell Mountaineers making a trip going over to Ledger to play Mitchell on their senior night. And I know Mitchell's their season has been early on. They were 2-3 at one point, just early in the regular season. I think they went 2-2 in their preseason or in their non-conference, and they lost their opener, I believe, down at Hendersonville. And then since then, I think they've won around 4 of their last 5 games, something along those lines. And they've been on a little bit of a streak here of late. Last week, taking on and beating Madison over in Ledger. And they've got, of course, you guys for senior night.
Yep.
Of course, this is the Avery Journal-Times Border Battle Classic. Got to be a frog that croaks for his own pond just a minute. But yeah, we got the trophy on the line this week with Mitchell. Of course, that was a big win, maybe the signature win so far for you as far as a coach goes, as far as a tenure with beating Mitchell 25-21 last year with that big comeback to beat them there in McDonald Stadium. When you see Mitchell this year, a little bit of a different team, a little bit, but still you're seeing Coach Travis Pittman doing a lot of the same principles, and he still has some athletes over there with the Mountaineers. Can you just speak a little bit about what practice has been like in preparing for Mitchell this week, and kind of what not just y'all's mindset, but just kind of physically what you all are expecting down there in Ledger on Friday?
I mean, it's just we know that what it stands for, and we know how important it is, to our community, how important it is to their community, and obviously with preparation this week here, we've been attacking it just like we do any other week, and it's even more, and we cranked up the intensity a whole lot, and we definitely know what's on the line, and we definitely know that this is a rivalry game, and told the kids already, hey, there's gonna be a lot of people there, don't panic, you control what's in between the lines, and don't worry about who's in the stands or anything like that. Obviously it's a crowd, and that's what Friday Night Lights is for, and we definitely know that they're going to be ready to play, for sure, and Travis is Travis, and definitely know that for sure, and Mitchell's going to be ready to play, and so are we. And, you know, our guys got to be ready, but preparation this week here has been pretty good. Kind of have made some adjustments, but, yeah, I mean, I think going into this week here, definitely we feel it for sure. And I mean, feel it as in of, you know, hey, like, you know, this is your last regular season game. And had a long conversation with the kids yesterday. And, you know, hey, you got to play. I mean, that's what it is. And we definitely, I told them already, you know, hey, you can't worry about what happened last season. You got to control what happened this year. And, you know, hey, it's 0-0 right now. And you know, it seemed to cross their minds. You know, they've talked about it this week here. You kind of hear the chatter inside the school and out in the community as well. And yeah, these are rivalry games. And you know, bragging rights is on the table again for sure. And like I said, I think our kids will be ready to play tomorrow for sure.
And I know just from my following of Mitchell personally, I know that the two schools I write about basically every week is, of course, Avery, because we're the Avery Journal, but also Mitchell. I try to make a point to write about those guys. I tell you, I know, you know, any other time, if you're playing, you know, anybody but Avery, I know a lot of people still, you know, root for Mitchell, and they support our neighbors to the south. And I know you have, you know, good relationships with the coaching staff down there. And a lot of the players, of course, have known each other for, good gracious, you know, years and years, you know, play peewee ball with each other or against each other. So there's a lot of familiarity between the two schools and the two teams. But, you know, looking at them on film, last week, Deshaun Orr, the running back, had a strong game. I think he scored 4 times in their game against Madison, or I believe it was 4, I want to say. It really just had a strong game. 2 rushers for 100 yards, I believe. And they also have that added dimension with Owen Riddle at quarterback, being able to he doesn't maybe run as much or as with as much frequency as previous really great Mitchell quarterbacks, such a lineage they have down there, but he can throw the ball. He's shown that ability, even if they don't do it a lot of times.
Yeah, he's definitely he's a dual threat. And two, you know, we know up front, they're big up front. And two, you know, hey, you know, all 3 phases of the ball game really. They are. You know, Deshaun, he's a heck of an athlete. You know, too, with a Riddle kid, and we definitely know he's a great athlete as well. And he's got athletes. I mean, that's Mitchell does have athletes, and you know, hey, it's one of the key things to it is, you know, hey, with all 3 phases of the ball game. You know, they had a couple kick return back as well. You know, defensive wise, kind of seeing what they've been showing, and two, you know, offensively, you know, that's Travis. So, you know, you got to be prepared for it. And, you know, I definitely know Deshaun kid is he's real special, along with the Riddle kid. And like I said, there are other athletes as well. But anything can happen in a robber game for sure. And yeah, that's the type of step and approach that we got to take it. And I think I said 4 years ago, it was, you know, their tight end. I mean, it was their tight end their 2 tight ends that killed us. And, you know, I said killed us, but hurt us. And, you know, 2 went back down there in 2023, and it was a second half. And we had an inverted whistle call that I have not forgot about. And then
coaches with long memories. Wow, that's a surprise. No.
Yeah, I've got some memories. And you know, hey, I'm still not gonna critique that at all. But yeah, I remember it was 14-7, and I remember that comeback route that was to Oak. It was wide open, and a whistle got blown. And that was our key turnaround point of that ball game there. I haven't forgot. So, and then two, you know, that's just from a coaching standpoint. But, you know, overall, you know, it's like I told our kids this time. And it's going to take each and every one of us. It's going to take of us playing 4 quarters. Yeah, man, I'm excited for our kids. And I think our kids are definitely excited too.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about just on the injury front and the health front with you guys? I know Nick didn't play, I believe, last week. I know he was on the sidelines. I know you've had a couple of kids banged up. Can you talk a little bit about where you all are at this juncture coming into Friday?
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're probably going to be down 2 more. But it's Zane's back. He played Friday. Did very well Friday. And then, 2 questionable right now with Jackson Boone. And then, obviously with Oak, questionable for tomorrow. And then,
that's new one. Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, we're healthy right now across the board. We got attacked with a lot of injuries this year. But we got some guys stepping in and stepping up, and yeah, I mean, right now that's the injury report. But again, can't thank that man enough. Obviously, I know I call her Mama Susan, but obviously I know she's over there as well. But yeah, man, you got to thank Joe Hawkins a lot for everything he does for our athletes in general, across the board, across the table, and yeah, I mean, he's trying to get everybody ready to rock and roll. So we just hoping and praying everything's gonna work out, and yeah, I mean, we're going to be fine that, but that's the injury report for sure.
I know that's always an interesting dynamic when you have a husband Joe on the Avery sideline helping with training, and then of course wife Susan on the Mitchell side, done a lot of the training as well. They've worked together for so long, and it's always good to see a lot of folks from Avery, especially even as they're continuing to be at Mitchell as well. Coach, I'd be remiss not to talk about some of our other sports. I know
Golf
soccer
team, man.
Yeah, well, I was going to say soccer team wrapped up their regular season Monday, had a loss down at Polk County. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pull the win out there. And they've had a tough season. I know they've had some injuries they're dealing with as well, and some changes over the course of the roster during the course of the season. But Coach Jim Shapiro, I know he and his staff have worked really hard this season. We appreciate all the work that they've done with the young men there in that program. Of course,
Absolutely.
The Avery Golf State Champions, just a fantastic effort by our ladies down there at in Fayetteville. Man, talking about you guys practicing in the weather. Imagine trying to play golf in that stuff. I'm telling you, they faced it Monday and Tuesday down there at Fayetteville, just driving rain and just cooler temperatures. And the fact that they were able to really persevere and win by about 16 strokes. They weren't even able to finish on Tuesday, and they had to just use one day's results because the weather was so bad. I think they said they'd gotten through about 9 holes before they called it. The association just went ahead and said, we can't play anymore. It's unplayable. We can't do this. So we appreciate those ladies. Just great effort to bring just the second sport to have a state champion behind our wrestling team. So it's a big deal to have Coach Mike Shook and Gary Noblet and those girls to bring home a state plaque. And we're actually doing a video interview, much as what we're doing here. I'll be talking to the coach and the players here a little later today, and look forward to getting that available for people to see as well. So it's exciting to see what they've done. Just a great season for those ladies, just to break through. And as you know, Coach, it's hard in a postseason to win a championship. It's so hard to keep battling through, especially you have a team sport, but golf being so individual. You have to have strong efforts from each of your players, and that doesn't mean every one of them has to shoot under par, but that means that everybody has to stay consistent, and just continue to do that. And all season long, from the preseason to the conference season, to the tournaments and the conference tournament, regional tournament now in the States, they've certainly done that. So we appreciate them for that, for winning that championship. Of course, Molly Forbes received the Sportsmanship Award from Farm Bureau from the 1A, 2A level for her efforts. So we congratulate Molly as well for that. Of course, all of our student athletes, just tremendous individuals and young people. And we just applaud them and look forward to continue seeing big and great things out of them as well. So yeah, definitely give a shout out there to the golf team as well. Cross country, I know they've got some ladies getting ready to run this week at State. Getting ready, I guess tomorrow, or I guess would it be? It's either Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which one it is.
Saturday.
Saturday they're running in the cross country at the state tournament. We'll have a little something in our paper this week on the cross country team as well. I appreciate Josh Gregory and his work there with the team there, the ladies and gentlemen there who are running as well. And we're getting ready to transition into basketball and sports in winter. And I know you've already got something on your plate ready to go for wintertime, right? I understand.
Yeah.
You'll be working with the JV team this season. I know that's been kind of solidified. You'll be doing some work with JV basketball, coaching them up.
Sure.
So congratulations there with that, and best of luck
Thank
with
you.
those guys. I know you have that familiarity from football, at least. I know. I know you and Coach Gage, 910 crew. I know you guys are. You guys are going to be keeping it real on the court. So
Yes, sir.
definitely look forward to seeing you guys, as well as, of course, Coach Allison Phillips and the girls team. Got a lot of high expectations there as well. So wrestling, of course, they're just getting started this week with their practices. So definitely want to reach out, Coach, and shout out Coach Brandon Burleson, just taking over the wrestling program himself. And of course, Kevin Foster helping him, Coach Hank Harden being part of that crew. Those guys looking to continue the tradition of excellence with the grappling program at Avery as well. So I think that's about it. Swimming, I guess swimming in the winter as well. So got to mention those folks as well. Just trying to hit every sport that I can remember up through Christmas. But definitely a lot of things going on. But Coach, last thing I'll ask you is, of course, with this game on Friday night with the Mountaineers, it's always a fun game, an exciting matchup where you have two schools that know each other so well. And the fact that Mitchell has had a pretty strong tradition of winning against you guys for, I guess, about 11 years in a row before y'all broke the streak last year. What would a win this week mean to you guys, you think, just as far as what it would do for morale for this whole season and things y'all went through, and being able just to end the regular season on a note like that, where you could go down two ledger and be able to get a victory this year? I mean, winning at home is great. I'd imagine winning on the road might be even sweeter. So what do you think that win would mean for your program to be able to make that back-to-back on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be pretty good. I mean, I know we haven't won over there in a while. I think it's been 11 years. But it would mean the world. It mean the world to the community. It mean the world to these seniors, these kids, to our program and to our school. I think that just having us. I know we're heavy underdogs right now. But it would definitely mean the world. Especially because right now we need a win. And these kids need this. This county needs this for sure. And our program needs it. And going into a environment like that, haven't won over there in 11 years. I think that'll definitely be able to help us make this turn. And I said every week, we definitely need to win. But definitely for sure, I think we need to make this turn. And that turn is, headed back in the right direction. I'm not saying that we're headed in the wrong direction, but I think that for us and our kids, especially, I mean, everybody knows I'm going to back our kids 110%, because that's just how much I care about this program in high school. But I think it'll mean the world to us for sure. Like I said, it's been 11 years, and I'm hoping that we come out and play 4 quarters for sure. I'm hoping that our kids give 110% effort like always, and definitely, I definitely want to pull off this upset. And I definitely think it'll mean the world, man.
Last thing I want to mention is I've had people asking me, just from conversations online, things of that nature, what does Avery's postseason look like? I mean, will they make a playoff with just their record? And it's interesting enough, I've had that conversation with several individuals, including administrators too, who said actually the way the new classifications are set up with realignment, you can have a 1-win school make it to the playoffs. It can happen, or a 2-win school get in the playoffs, because there's a small pool of schools in this classification specifically that Avery's in, the 2A class. So the chances of making the postseason are still pretty good for you guys, despite kind of how the season has been. Have you guys talked anything about the postseason, about the potential for that, and just kind of, what's your thoughts about, being able to possibly qualify when those brackets come out later on in the weekend and the starting up with next week?
Yeah, I mean, definitely right now, I mean, this is going to be a long weekend, long week. But, just how the RPIs are set. I mean, that's what it is right now. And, obviously I know we're 2A, and, I've seen a lot of different things happen. And you have teams go into playoffs that, things can happen. And, upsets can happen too. I mean, look at Reedsville up from last year.
Right.
East Roveton knocking them off. And that there's a lot of different things that can happen in this situation, and you don't want to be in that predicament, but you are in that predicament right now to where, hey, like you do have like the RPIs and stuff that's taking place. And, hey, I know we're 2A, and most of our games that we did play this year here were either against 3A high schools or either a 4A or 5A. I think the highest one we actually played, I think it was a 5A or either 6A. I can't remember. I think
maybe McDowell. I mean, they're huge. So yeah, I think they were 6 or 7. Yeah.
So it's like, looking at that and then looking at, other teams' records, how that matches up. And, it's kind of like the strength of schedule in a sense. But I mean, with the classifications, I mean, in a way, it helps us out a lot. And, obviously right now, this is not what we intended on, because where we wanted to be. But, hey, a win Friday I think it would help boost us a whole bunch. I'm hoping it does. I have looked at it. I have talked to our kids about it as well. I've talked to the coaching staff about it. And obviously that's something that I have to monitor along with Coach Welburn, Benny Welburn. I always still call him Coach Welburn, but just something I got to continue to look at and go from there. But you look at different projections and where they got us at. It's really not. It's not bad. And fingers are crossed. Because we still got this one we got to play tomorrow night, a Halloween night for sure, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm definitely looking forward to that, and but I'm looking forward to really and truthfully tomorrow night, and then after that, we'll discuss with the playoffs, and hopefully we're in. I think we are. I think we'll get a shot at being in, and I'm hoping that it does happen for sure.
Of course, that means chances of traveling may be pretty high, but
we'll definitely be on the road for sure.
Somewhere playing at some location. I know I've heard maybe a Smoky Mountain school, perhaps somewhere like that. Playing, I've heard Hayesville thrown around among other schools. So the way our town's kind of set up, Cherryville wouldn't be too bad. They're, Coach Harrell, that crew down there, they're good group down there too. So yeah, but that again, fan support would be huge to be part of that for
absolutely.
Sure. And,
absolutely.
And hopefully have great fan support tomorrow night down at Ledger. Tell people to bundle up and bring your galoshes if you need to, and bring your rain slickers and all those things you need to stay warm and stay dry. Now for sure, I think it may hold up. Maybe we won't have rain on Friday. Just cross some fingers. And it's Halloween night, so until them what kind of goblins and dressed up folks we'll see. So it's really just, there's always an odd Halloween night's always interesting. So we'll see what kind of happens on Mitchell Senior Night tomorrow night down in Ledger at Memorial Stadium. Coach, we appreciate you. Of course, we appreciate Big Mike's Coffee Shop as well. If you continue to mention Mike and Jackie and Nelson, and of course, getting ready to move to that new shop. I know I had on my way down to Polk last Friday on that trip, stopped in and got my butterscotch delight, went through the drive-through. Don't even have to get out of my car. That's great, because just some of my physical limitations at the moment. So was able to do that, and just delicious, just great items over there at Big Mike's. And just appreciate Mike and Jackie and all the stuff they're doing. Appreciate their patronage and their support of Viking athletics. Do want to quickly give a shout out personally to Polk County as well for Coach Fagan, their athletic director, doing some accommodating for me to be able to make it to the game Friday night. I really appreciated that, to be able to still do what I need to do to help you guys out on a Friday night. So
yes, sir.
It's always a great thing there. So again, we got Mitchell coming up on Friday. We appreciate you, Coach, for your time. You've got classes to teach and weights to lift, and
we're about to
catch up. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Because thank you again. Wish you the best of luck coming up against the Mountaineers. And again, we'll talk next week as we look at most likely a playoff scenario and going into the postseason.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much again, Coach, and appreciate the time. And once again, you've been watching Big Mike's Coaches Show, Big Mike's Coffee Shop at Wyatt Avenue in Newland. Thank you for Mike and Jackie Nelson and their support. And once again, go Vikes.
Go Vikes.